Wednesday's New York AM session NQ loss. What went wrong? We'll check it out. We'll also have a look at Ethereum and, of course, check out our daily bias. Over here on the calendar, welcome back to the channel. It's Jimmy Trades. Thanks for being here, guys. I must apologize first and foremost for yesterday's video. I don't know what happened. There was an issue with editing or uploading. Something went wrong and you only got a partial video. So I do apologize for that. Today, we will make sure that doesn't happen. 8:30 a.m. we have high impact news. 8:30 news, high impact, out of the way. Then we get on with our day. Rightio, let's have a look at NQ on the daily while we're here, and then we'll drop down and we'll check out the loss that I took during the New York AM session yesterday. So I was looking at this candle here as inside to order flow with the candle closure back inside the range. And what we did do is we found support on the opposing candles here. So we opened, then we moved lower, but the open supported this level and we were able to close higher. Today, we can anticipate price to continue its move higher. If this equilibrium of the Tuesday wick is respected, then price will likely move lower. So let's drop down to a 4-hour time frame so we can get a bit of a better picture. We do have this 4-hour candle closure back inside the range. It's that 10 a.m. candle from yesterday. And then we were able to get a closure above this opposing candle. And we are currently just testing we've closed through this bearish FEG, which is great. So that's a positive thing to potentially see prices reach to this all-time high and give us new all-time highs. What we have is a devil's mark here. So I would anticipate price to sweep that out, find support on this opposing candle, and then continue its run higher. All right, let's drop down to the 15-minute. I'll just clean that up. I'll have a quick look at this trade from yesterday. And basically, long story short, I didn't follow my rules and it cost me a trade. So price was chopping around a little bit. It wasn't the best PA. You can see that through, these candles here with the indecision in these candles. Then we have a pump, then we have a dump. So yeah, not great PA. If we move down to the 1 minute, just find that position, just around about here. Let's bring the chart back. Okay, so okay, here we are on the 1 minute. And this candle here is where I got into the position. I was looking for these London lows. That was my target. That's what I was looking for to be swept. So I got in here, looking at this inversion, a small inversion, but it is there. Stopped at the high. And I was just targeting those lows, which gave me a 2R. Now, obviously, you can see that I got stopped out. Now, what didn't I do here? Well, first of all, I didn't trade inside a macro time, which is something that I've implemented. And those macro times, if we turn that on, we can see that the 950 to 1010, and then the next one is 1050 to 1110. So I was outside of the macro time. That's the first thing. Macro tracker by 2 degrees, of course. So I was outside of macro time. That's number one. Second thing is I wasn't at a higher time frame point of interest, and my higher time frame points of interest are only FVGs. So we had one here, but we didn't reach into it. We fell short of that FVG. Now, if we roll forward, we eventually tap into it. Okay. So let's drop down to the 1 minute once again. And here is where we tap in. And if we throw that macro tracker on again, would we have got a position today? We tapped into it here. Would we have got into a position on this day? Well, not likely, because even though we tapped into the high time frame point of interest, was there an SMT? We can check that with the Jimmy Trades SMT. No, there wasn't. No SMT at the high time frame point of interest, and we didn't have an inversion. Yes, we got to change the state of delivery here, a lower time frame one, but there was no entry. And eventually, yes, the longer lows did get swept, which was my target, but I didn't follow my trade plan, and therefore I took a losing trade. It's as simple as that. So you have to learn from that and move on. Give yourself a little kick in the butt if that's what you have to do. But all in all, it was a poor play, especially with choppy price action the way it was. Even though, yes, the draw was correct, I was right in where I wanted to see price go, I didn't take the appropriate entry, and it cost me. You know, maybe there was something on the 2 minute, an inversion. You know, we do cycle through, but you can see that was quite an aggressive dump as well. And there was really, you know, possibly this 3 minute breaker, you could have taken that. That would have been a great little entry, but the sweep was already done here on the low. So yeah, maybe not. Right. So we've done the trade recap. We've looked at NQ bias, ES bias. Let's have a quick look at that on the daily. We'll get rid of the replay function. You can see we've got an SMT here. If we have a look at NQ, NQ did not sweep out the Monday low, whereas ES has. And we got a closure back inside the range. This is a good signature for higher prices. So we'll anticipate price to run higher today. Oil, yucky, indecisive PA. We've got a closure back inside the range. I'm still looking for these lows to be swept. Just going to be patient with that for now. I would even just sit on my hands and wait for some displacement or something, you know, on the lower time frame. So the 1 hour, we're just in a bit of a range here, as you can see. So if we were to come up, have a nice sweep of this range, these highs through here, and then look for displacement and an opportunity to get in lower, that would be the ideal scenario there. Hopping over to gold, daily. So yesterday did manage to sweep out the Tuesday low, and it was a double sweep, swept out both sides. And we did close bullish in coming out of this bullish FVG as well. So we've had a bit of a sell-off today so far. Let's look for previous day low to be swept, and then potentially from there a reversal for price to run higher. That's what we'll look for to start with. So we'll look for previous day low first, and then be patient and see what sort of reversal signature, if any, that we might get. Dixie. Double sweep of the range yesterday. We've left a devil's market open here. Usually I'll be anticipating price to reach back for this. So first of all, we'll look for price to reach for the low hanging fruit. Obviously previous day high, if you look at that, is the low hanging fruit. We'll look for price to reach higher first and then see if we get a reaction at this level. 6E has continued to, actually we found support here. So this is exactly what we're looking for. We came out of this bullish FEG off this opposing candle run, and we're testing that again right now. Very little wick to the high side, could be acting as a draw here. The trend hasn't flipped yet. Okay, we need to find some strong support here. We can see that that was just the news or these tweets or whatever the hell was going on yesterday. We did get a change in state of delivery, but that's then failed again. All right, so at the moment we can probably look to see price continue lower, at least to previous day low as a starting point. We swept out the low here, which we had been targeting for 6B or the pound, with a devil's mark to the high side. So you can see that inverse correlation there with Dixie. Dixie had the inverse, had the devil's mark to the low side, obviously being a bullish candle. So let's look again for previous day low swept and then see how price reacts at that level. Jumping over to Bitcoin, we've got that cooling off phase. I'd anticipate price to reach for the previous day high as we did yesterday and see how we react there. Ethereum, have a look at these targets, guys. It's just a rocket ship. Smashed our target zone. We can now look for this -4 to be reached. This is our next high, significant daily high. You can see that. And then it's this one here, which aligns beautifully with the -4 there. So I do really like this as a draw. Okay. All right, guys, let's wrap up the video there. Thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Be sure to grab your evals with code JimmyTrades for Tradeify and code Jimmy for Apex. Also, look to get yourself on board with Tradezella and level up your trading by data collection, back testing. Everything's in there, guys. And look, when you guys get your evals using code Jimmy or code JimmyTrades, it really helps to support the channel. We do everything here for free. So all those little bits really do help. So we thank you very much for your ongoing support. Make sure to share the channel far and wide. Give the video a sub. Give the video a like. Give the channel a sub, I should say, because we really want to start pushing the channel far and wide, and we need your help to do that. So thank you, guys. Take care. Bye for now.